YouTube. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Student Games Showcase. We're here with Quest for Dendoro from Northeastern. I'm Jason, the SGDA president, and Anush, if you could introduce yourself and the development team here.
Hey there, folks. This is Anuj, the webmaster for SGDA, and we're here with the dev team behind Quest for Dendoro. So, Ray, let's go ahead.
Hello. I'm Ray. So this is Quest for Dendoro. I created this as part of the game design class I took at Northeastern Oakland. And what was really special about this class was that there was a lab school on my campus, the Mills College Children's School, and we collaborated with a class of 4th and 5th graders to make this game. It's called Quest for Dendoro. It's a 2D, 2.5D action RPG. Yeah.
Awesome. While I get started, I will ask, where are you right now? Are you still at Northeastern Oakland or somewhere else?
Yeah, I'm currently in Worcester, Massachusetts. So on the opposite end, I'm closer to I guess the main Northeastern campus now.
What was your role during the development of this game?
So I was, I guess, the producer, kind of by de facto, the only programmer, and also a designer for the game.
How did the idea for this game come up? Where did it come from, and where did it start?
So we had to meet with for production. We met with the kids on campus. So first we had them bring their favorite analog games. So we had a kid bring like Risk. We're like, why are you playing Risk as like an 8 or 9-year-old? Is that fun for you? We had a kid bring this like thing called Mantis. One called like what do you mean? Which was kind of like Cards Against Humanity for family friendly. It's like kids playing like a card against like Here to Slay. And I think I don't know. Like, also like it was really fascinating. They had this whole like role playing game they made up called Fantasy Apocalypse. So they would have like one kid like be the game master and just like narrate everything for them, and they were really obsessed with playing it. They had like it was just like really impressive how like intricate it was, and it was just like this is just like a 9-year-old who like has memorized everyone's stats, like making up a story, and everyone's like buying into it and like they're not like complaining about fairness. It's really impressive.
Mm-hmm.
But they really love fantasy. They really like solving puzzles, but they also like I don't know, they like I think sorry, I'm just thinking about like back to the question about the idea. We kind of pitched them with some different concepts. So some narrative concepts included saving their teacher, but they're like, I want to play a game. I don't want to be reminded of school. So we just leaned further into the fantasy element, and they're just like really into like as I noticed when they're playing Here to Slay, they really like the animal characters. So they're like, okay, we need to kind of push into like cute and cool animal designs, and also give an animal companion to our main character, who's like, you can see, is like based off a squirrel, so the blue jay one. And enemies are just like raccoons. Sorry, I was kind of rambling, but yeah, let me know if you redirect me anywhere.
I think like I'm very curious about the kid who brought in Risk, because I'm like, I don't know if I like Risk as a 26-year-old. No,
yeah, like they didn't. It was not fun. Like even like my classmate who was like in his like early 20s, he also did not understand how to play the game. So it was just like I think just the one kid who brought it liked it, and nobody else had fun. So we were like, yeah, okay, we can't make a game like Risk. And I guess another interesting thing was a lot of them were not good at using keyboards. So that's why just like you see there's like the on-screen joystick, because we needed to make the game for iPad babies.
I was wondering about that, because I was like, this feels very like iPad mobile game-esque in terms of the control scheme.
Yep. But I'm on a computer, so I can kind of simulate it, but yeah. It's a little easier to just use the keyboard controls.
How long have you been working on the game? How long did you work on the game overall?
We worked on it from I think early October to December, so about like 3 months. It's a pretty short time frame. So it was like we spent a lot of time like think we spent a lot of time in pre-production. So I think first I mentioned we played analog games with the kids, and then after that we brought in some video games for them to play. So we just kind of observed, brought some different genres, kind of observed what they liked or disliked about the games. I don't know. They cared a lot about visuals. They like complained about characters being ugly in Friday Night Funkin', and they just like, I don't know. They like. I think one of my classes were on Undertale, and they said like that's kind of why we went toward the puzzle direction, because they really like solving puzzles in Undertale. But I think there's like they kind of have various levels of like reading ability, so they didn't really like a lot of words. So we weren't going to go, and also we don't have a writer on our team, so we're naturally not going to be as story focused as Undertale. So we just have kind of the short little text pop-ups.
More like the puzzles themselves were the focus rather than like the narrative elements of Undertale.
Yeah. But it's kind of like very simple, like puzzles was like that only involve really simple interaction, just like, oh, you like interact or you like walk on something, kind of thing. But yeah, we have like a little hint for them. It's like some kids were actually able to brute force this pretty quickly, but other kids were just like really lost and just couldn't do it. I think we tried to put like an NPC that gives a hint, but I think in our first playtest, the kid just like wouldn't remember. They would not like retain the information from this NPC by the time they got to the puzzle. So we had to put them a lot closer together.
The like permanence of the information was not really there.
Yeah.
Like an interesting problem though, of just genuinely the placement of the NPC mattered a lot.
Yeah.
I'd say, what are you most proud of with the game?
I feel like it's like a fairly polished product for the time we had. I also like that we were able to kind of leverage our team member strengths. Like, I think our first project we worked on together as a cohort, it was just kind of like people were not really doing what they wanted to do. And I was like, okay guys, what do you want on your portfolios? We're just gonna like do this role. So we had like someone work on environment art, and work on like these 3D, little poly 3D models, and 2 people working on 2D art. So I think everyone was like working on the stuff that they were passionate about, and they kind of put their portfolios, and they just like, I don't know, I think I just made everyone happy, and also the kids really liked our game. So I think it's probably the main thing I'm proud of. Like we showed them the game, and they were like, they really liked it, and they're also really happy we took their feedback into account. They're like, oh, I remember, like I complained about this and you changed it. Thank you. So that was really nice.
Sweet. I feel like kids probably don't feel like they're heard very often, so when they see that, they're like, oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, this is like an NPC they complained about. They like didn't like his dialogue before, and it was just like, I don't know how to help you, and they're like, this, I don't like him, he's mean. So I had to reword that.
That's really funny.
Yeah, like they would like be really, like sometimes they'd be like so vague, and it'd be really hard to problem for feedback because you're like, I don't know, and it's like I'm just like they don't know how to like kind of verbalize these like kind of abstract feelings as well. But then they would like get like really specific about some of their complaints. That's like, wow. I didn't know
that you could have opinions that strongly given how vague your feedback is, but okay.
Yeah.
Where is this coming from? Do you have any plans for the future of the game's development right now?
No, I think we're just done with it. But I think it's just kind of the thing we're kind of like, oh, maybe we should go back and polish some of like the art. And it's like, guys, I think realistically, it's really hard to work on a project after you call it done. And I think we might as well just like bring our learning to new projects. So that's kind of like, I think where it's like we're happy enough with how it is. I'm just gonna like, we'll just make better games in the future, and this is kind of like a product of the time it was made, and that's fine.
I think like that's okay. Like that's understandable. Like I think you raise a very good point of like when you call a game done, and it's not like a full like purchase game, like it's a student game, that it's difficult to be like, oh, we should continue it. It's like, yeah, we should.
But yeah, we have a Bossfight, yeah. Initially, the kids would just like camp and use a ranged attack, so we had to nerf it by a lot. Oh no. And we had to have the indicators like show, like it has to overlap the character or else they can't see it. Actually, something that was interesting was a lot of kids actually struggled a lot with like kind of like the spatial awareness. Like they kept like they weren't able to identify how to like line up against the boss. Possibly because it's also like 2D, 2.5D, so it's kind of like a weird perspective. We had kids that were kind of like standing here and they're like, "Why isn't it hitting?" And they're like not like like in line with it at all. I don't know.
2.5D is probably like, I think that's probably a little bit much for kids. Because I remember playing Kingdom Hearts 2 when I was 8. Don't think about how long ago that was. I remember playing Kingdom Hearts 2 when I was a kid. Like, I didn't have as much trouble there, but that's a fully 3D game. So like,
Yeah.
It makes sense that I didn't have trouble. Also, like, I should have been able to have object permanence in the game like that.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, they really like the cute, bright art style. I think we added like the first intro comic, and they were like, we really like their comics, so our artists like worked hard at making more of them.
They are, I will say, they are really cute. As we watch the monarch fall into darkness, I'd like to ask our final question and wrap up, which is there anybody that you'd like to shout out, give a special mention to, anything like that?
Yeah, so first, of course, I would like to shout out my whole team, Jocelyn, Zhang, who did 2D, the character art, the bird art, some of the all the UI art, Jiayi, Zhang, who did all of these like hundreds of object arts, and the squirrel NPC arts and like the cutscene comics. Lawson, who worked on the 3D models. Qitao Zheng, who made their environments pretty, and Professor Cliff Lee for kind of creating this connection with I guess a 4th and 5th grade class and kind of advising our project, and of course like Miss Lyndsay's 4th and 5th grade class. We could not have made the game without them, so yeah. I think I'm not finishing this level before the playtest is over, before the stream is over, but it's okay. That's for people to try out later in their own time.
Exactly.
I don't
leave
know
some for the audience to play. Awesome. Thank you, Ray, for coming by and showcasing Quest for Dendoro today. Really interesting to see this kind of like game, like the context of the game and where its development came from. Next up, we'll have Student Showcase Slot G, starting with Go-Go Beetle Rollers, Roller Synthesis, and then ending with Crowd Servers. We'll be back in just a bit, but we'll see you guys later.